The least fun thing about having a YouTube channel that operates on the DIY alternative side of the music world is that I have to talk about allegations a lot. And recently some new allegations have hit the deathcore community, and today, unfortunately, as a part of my role here on YouTube, I have to discuss these allegations. It's a pretty messy situation regarding a band that I have really no idea about, so my investment is not really 100% all there, but I'm gonna go through what is already out there. But before I do, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton, and this is my little YouTube channel. Around here, I make daily topic videos about the rock and roll, DIY, punk rock, metal, alternative music scene and culture. And if that sounds okay to you, how's about you like and subscribe? And if you're here within the first 3 hours and comment, there's a 100% chance that I will reply, and that'll mean you're in the 3-hour gang. And I take 3-hour gang very seriously around here. This whole show is run by 3-hour gang. So if you want to be a part of the elite community that gets my preferential treatment and my undying bias, then you're gonna comment within the first 3 hours. The second most elusive and illustrious gang around here is End Gang. We love End Gang, and those are people that make it all the way to the end of the video. So if you're a real G, you're gonna be in 3-hour gang and End Gang. So let's do it. But before we talk about this unfortunate situation, I'm gonna tell you about my new comic book like I do in every single video. Issue 2, which is actually chapter 1, is out right now, and you could go read it for free. It is called Pit Pros. It is about Zilch. He's a mosh pit superhero, and his hype is in peril. He's the mosh pit champion as it stands right now, but that might not be the case as we go forward. So get yourself caught up on the Pit Pros train today and join me using the link in the description. Now, this story started to develop around February 6th when the fiance of Ben Durr, who's the vocalist of Shadow of Intent, came onto the internet with footage of an argument that she had with Ben Durr, photos of injuries that she claimed was sustained, and then it goes on to say also shared were screen caps of a purported conversation related to the alleged abuse. You could find those allegations on her Instagram. And then when you go to that Instagram page over here, it has been broken or removed. The link you followed may be broken, or the page may have been removed. Sorry, this page isn't available. And these two people have a kid together, and a couple days have gone past, and they've both issued statements regarding the matter. For those statements, we're going to go over to Nick Nocturnal Journalists of the Year Loudwire, to an article written by Lauren Schaefer, published today, February 12th, 2025. Her article has the headline that reads, Shadow of Intent vocalist Ben Durr issues statement about abuse allegations against him. And before we go forward, I think that this is very important to read first. If you or someone you know is facing abuse, visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline website. A disclaimer on the website notes that if you are concerned that your internet usage may be monitored, an alternative option is to call 1-800-799-7233. And for this statement, we're about 3 rungs down on the aggregation ladder over here. In this Loudwire article, it says Lamb Goat received this statement. So now, according to Dan Frampton, according to Loudwire, according to Lamb Goat, according to Brittany Carroll, this is what she said about the matter. Most of you don't know me, but I owe everyone an explanation for the video and pictures I posted. Ben and I have been struggling in a toxic relationship for a long time. Essentially, we're just not compatible. I love him and I don't think that will ever go away. He's the best dad I could ask for Max. Unfortunately though, I was not treated well when I was pregnant with Max. I'm not going to go into that because it's mental abuse and no one understands or cares about shit like that. And I'll be real, we were emotionally abusive to each other, even if we didn't know it at the time, because that's what happens in toxic relationships. It's almost never just one person who is the problem. Just comes down to us not being compatible, as I said. The only time Ben ever intentionally physically hurt me was when he threw me across the floor when I thought I was pregnant. The arm bruises came from him holding my arms, and the skids on my knees were obviously from skidding across the carpet. Ben's not very good with personal space, and we would end up both getting hurt when I was just trying to get away from him. That's why I would usually just lock myself in the bathroom. When I was pregnant, I recorded him because it was the only way I could protect myself and Max. Stress obviously isn't good for the baby, and this is my issue with Ben. He just didn't take me being pregnant seriously. So why is this all coming out now? Well, I just found out that I'm pregnant again, and I am absolutely unwilling to repeat that cycle. These babies deserve better. So I foolishly went to the internet thinking that people would just tell him you can't do that and he would stop, because unfortunately none of his friends who I originally went to with this information were willing to tell him that it's not okay. No one wants to tell Ben shit because fuck, he's Ben. I didn't want to leave him, I just wanted to figure this shit out. Now, I see that I was stupid for thinking like that. No one could have saved our relationship, and that's all it is. Just a shitty ass ending to almost 10 years of trying. So currently, while yes, I do have some support, most people are just shitting all over me, and it's disgusting. This is the last I will say regarding this situation. I just want to move on and heal. And that's her statement. And judging by her statement, and only her statement, it does seem super toxic. On his part, absolutely. Those recordings definitely don't sound very good. They sound very damning. But then also, going to the internet just so people tell him not to do it is not really logical thinking either. And then Ben issued a statement of his own which was much less wordy, and he says, "Hey everyone, I need to clear up some questions that I've been receiving lately about Brittany Carroll and myself, fiance of nearly 10 years and mother of my children. I have never abused or otherwise caused physical violence to any woman, especially not the mother of my children, and of course not while she was pregnant. After talking, she and I have come to an agreement to part ways and are both going to therapy to be the best parents we can be for our 2 kids. We both agree that the prior incident referred to in the video that she recently shared was truly an accident and are now civilly working through things for the well-being of our children." Holy crap, that is so messy. That is so toxic, and I am so glad that I am not in this situation. But if you yourself watching this video are in a situation similar to this, there's help and support out there for you. So that's where the Shadow of Intent situation is right now. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to read Pit Pros, and until my next upload, watch another upload. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.